Albania is known as the land of the most beautiful women in the Balkans. Not the industrial smiles you often see in America. Beauty calculated for career advancement. Albanian women embody pure European beauty. Sharp features, high straight noses, and deep eyes that seem to carry the weight of Balkan history. So, what will you choose? The rational safety of American women? Or the irresistible wildness of Albanian women? You'll definitely have your answer after watching this video. Drop a one, so I know you'll stay with me until the very end. When people mention Albania, many immediately think of a small country in the Balkans, less well known than its neighbors. But there's one thing that always comes up in side conversations. The women here are often considered the most beautiful in the Balkans, with some even calling them the swans of Europe, that have yet to be discovered. Their beauty isn't loud or extravagant, but it carries a raw, instinctive allure. Albanian women are usually around 1.65 meters tall, just enough to create a balanced figure. They carry a pure European look, yet with a touch of the Mediterranean. Fair or sun-kissed skin, deep brown or green eyes, high straight noses, and defined cheekbones. Their hair is thick, usually black or dark brown, sometimes with golden hues, worn long and natural. When they smile, it's often subtle rather than showy. Very different from the bright, industrial smiles Americans are used to. One way to recognize Albanian women in a crowd is by their presence. They walk slowly, proudly, with straight backs and eyes looking ahead. In contrast, American women tend to be taller, with toned bodies, but often shaped by globalized beauty standards. Tanned skin from salons, dyed blonde hair, and fuller lips thanks to fillers. Albanian women, meanwhile, keep it natural. Proportionate figures without strain, skin colored by real sunlight rather than tanning beds, and thick natural hair instead of extensions. They rarely overdress, often choosing solid-colored dresses, jeans or shirts, simple styles that still highlight their innate elegance. That lack of surgical or artificial enhancement is exactly what makes them stand out, in sharp contrast to the industrial uniformity of American beauty. The way Albanian women speak also has its own flavor. Their voices are low and clear, often carrying a touch of seriousness. They're not overly cheerful, nor quick to laugh with strangers, but when they do open up, their eyes and smiles become truly warm. This is their trademark mystery. It makes you want to get closer, yet also keeps you slightly cautious. So, in comparison, American women might make you feel comfortable, approachable, easy to connect with. But Albanian women leave a deeper impression, thanks to their unembellished beauty and the mystery that keeps you wanting to know more. As people say, America produces mainstream beauty icons, while Albania keeps for itself the hidden gems of Europe. Which kind of beauty do you prefer? Drop a comment below and let me know. Albanians aren't just limited to the borders of Albania. They're a people spread widely across the Balkans. For example, in Kosovo, about 95% of the population is Albanian, and in North Macedonia, nearly half of the population has Albanian roots. Today, Albania covers around 28,000 square kilometers, with a population of about 2.7 million, roughly the size of a mid-sized U.S. city like Chicago. In many ways, the Balkans reflect the deep-rooted presence of the Albanian nation, which has historically spanned multiple countries. Interestingly, the origins of the Albanian people do not trace back to Italians or Ottoman Turks. They are primarily descendants of the Illyrians, an ancient tribe that settled in the region around 2000 BCE. The Illyrians lived here for over 1,500 years, until the Roman Empire took over, laying the foundation for the modern Albanian identity. However, the origins of Albania's flag don't go as far back. The famous double-headed eagle has a history of about 600 years, dating back to the Ottoman period. In 1443, Albanian national leader Skanderbeg led a rebellion against Ottoman rule and adopted the eagle from the Byzantine Empire as a symbol of resistance. By 1912, when Albania declared independence from the Ottomans, this flag was officially recognized as the national flag. Today, about 7% of Albania's population identifies as ethnically Albanian, with the rest made up of Greeks, Romanians, Roma, Montenegrins, and other minority groups. While some nationalist voices claim the percentage is much higher, international sources confirm the official figure. In this video, we captured everyday moments across Albania to better understand how people live here. Around this time of year, the weather in Albania can be unpredictable. It's not uncommon to have both rain and sunshine in a single day. People typically wear long sleeves or light jackets to adapt. Unlike in the US, where most homes, buildings, and hotels have central heating systems and access to natural gas, Albania lacks these infrastructures. Even hotels here mostly rely on air conditioning units and electric water heaters in the bathrooms. This highlights a significant difference in infrastructure between Albania and more developed countries like the United States. As a result, in Albania and throughout the Balkans, AC units that provide both heating and cooling are essential in most households, even during the winter months. That said, cold weather typically only lasts 2 to 3 months a year, with the rest of the time being quite mild, making energy consumption much lower compared to places with harsh winters like northern US states. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos about the United States. If you visit the capital city, you'll likely come across Skanderbeg Square, one of the largest and most iconic public squares in Albania. In my opinion, the layout is beautifully modern, with plenty of open space. Yet even during peak tourist season, the square can feel somewhat empty or underutilized. I believe its potential hasn't been fully tapped. There should be more day and night activities to bring the space to life. As it stands, tourists don't have much to do there apart from taking photos. And the only real attraction is a Ferris wheel. Despite its size and location, the square feels a bit wasted due to the lack of engaging options. Many visitors come with money to spend, but find few ways to actually spend it. Among young Albanians, personal grooming is a big deal, especially hair, beard, and makeup. Most locals have dark hair and fair skin, and blonde hair with blue or green eyes is rare. So, if you spot someone with those features, chances are they're tourists from Northern Europe. That said, these traits are often highly admired and associated with conventional beauty standards. In terms of personality, Albania is incredibly welcoming to strangers. Ask someone on the street for directions, and you're likely to get a sincere, helpful answer. Shopkeepers greet customers with a smile, and if locals know even a few words in your language, they'll often use them to thank you, which creates a real sense of warmth and connection with the people here. Ultimately, perhaps due to the climate, Albanians, like many others across the Balkans, love to enjoy life and engage in conversation. Among young Albanians, there's a clear trend. Many move to Germany after university. Tour guides in Kosovo and North Macedonia often mention this pattern. Balkan youth tend to look outward for career opportunities, as average local salaries fall below 1,000 euros per month. This outward migration allows them to send money back home and dream of one day buying a nice apartment in Albania with their foreign earnings. When it comes to the economy, Albania imports nearly all major global brands, including electronics, vehicles, and defense-related equipment. Although the country is rich in natural fruits and vegetables, those exports don't bring in anywhere near the revenue of high-tech products. As a result, there are very few high-income sectors outside of food and beverages. Albania does produce textiles and construction materials, with its main trading partners being Italy, Turkey, Greece, Germany, and China. The latter being the origin of many electric vehicles seen on the roads today. That said, Albania enjoys a unique advantage that some other Balkan nations lack: access to the sea. This makes it a magnet for tourism, which plays a critical role in the local economy. If a country has a coastline, it unlocks countless opportunities, from tourism to trade, and has a direct impact on how many visitors it attracts. Cities like Shëngjin, Sandy, draw American and European tourists each summer, thanks to their beautiful beaches and lower prices compared to Western Europe. For Northern Europeans, Albania and Greece are top choices for affordable summer vacations, a key boost for local businesses. Considering Albania's turbulent history, it's not surprising the country has faced challenges in productivity. After more than 400 years of Ottoman rule, Albania gained independence in 1912. During World War II, it was invaded by both Italy and Germany, and afterward, it fell under strict communist control, led by a single ruler until the 1990s. Many Albanians today still view the communist era as a major reason for the country's slow development. Although Albania is now a NATO member, it has yet to join the European Union. If it does eventually gain EU membership, it's expected that the economy would improve significantly. For now, Albania's local currency, the lek, has very low value, about 100 lek to €1. Because of this, the country prints banknotes in denominations like 500, 1,000, even 2,000 lek. Even basic groceries such as cheese and olives can cost over 200 lek, and dining out isn't exactly cheap. This reflects both inflationary pressure and weak purchasing power. Even everyday items can feel expensive. For example, a meal for 3 people at a typical Italian restaurant in Tirana costs around €50. A decent deal for tourists from the US, Switzerland, Denmark, or the UAE, but still pricey by local standards. Even someone earning 1,500 to 2,000 euros per month might find eating out regularly to be a financial stretch. While the annual inflation rate is reportedly around 5%, which is relatively stable, restaurant prices seem unreasonably close to those in EU countries. Supermarkets tell a clearer story, with 1,000 lek equals €1. It's easier to compare meat prices to what you'd pay back home. As a result, most Albanians prefer cooking at home, preparing large meals at lower cost, rather than spending more on restaurant dining. On the topic of religion, Albania has a significant Muslim population. Some sources estimate that more than half of the population identifies as Muslim. This creates some variation in dining choices in Tirana. For example, in areas near mosques or with many Muslim residents, you'll find restaurants marked halal, which do not serve pork. However, it's important to note that religion does not play a dominant role in Albanian society today. Under the communist regime of Enver Hoxha, religious practice was banned, and Albania became one of the most atheist countries in the Balkans. Given that Hoxha ruled until 1985, there hasn't been a significant religious revival since then. So, while there are plenty of mosques around the country, Albanian Muslims tend not to practice as strictly as in the Middle East. In fact, some Albanians even joke that people may pray at the mosque and still eat pork, reflecting a relaxed cultural approach to religion. Albanians also have a deep love for Turkish and Roma music, which is why you'll often see Roma street performers across the city. In another part of Tirana, there's a large concrete structure known as the Pyramid, one of the city's most unusual and iconic landmarks. Climb the steps to the top, and you'll get a panoramic view of the capital, though not a cohesive one. Why? Because the city's architecture lacks consistency. You'll see sleek skyscrapers next to aging apartment blocks, a visual contrast that dilutes the aesthetic appeal of Tirana's skyline. Still, almost everyone who climbs the pyramid takes photos, especially women, who seem to particularly enjoy capturing the moment.